My name's Bruno. I'm 29, almost 30 years old, and I've been doing CrossFit for just over 2 years. Originally, what sort of got me going for the sport was, I used to train at F45. Prior to that, I spent about 2 years with really bad sciatic nerve pain where I couldn't sleep, cough, walk, sneeze, anything without shooting pain. It kind of stopped me from doing a lot of things on my day-to-day activities, even made working hard. And then eventually I sort of reached my heaviest weight, which I wasn't happy about. And yeah, I just managed to push through a lot of pain to get into F45. And then after doing that for about 6 months, I used to hear all the commotion going on over here, and I'd pop my head in every now and then and see what was going on. I'd see barbells getting thrown around and people looked like they were dying. And I thought, oh, that looks great. One day I'll give that a go. And I come in and yeah, I haven't done anything else since. Now, there'll be some mornings, more or less on the cold mornings, I'll wake up and I still feel a bit of the nerve pain because it's from a bulging disc, which doesn't go away. So it's just all about strengthening everything around it. And yeah, some mornings, like I said, I'll wake up and it's a bit tight, I won't be able to bend down and touch my toes sort of thing until it all warms up. But yeah, I think a lot of it was just, being able to push past that initial pain, which almost felt impossible sometimes, but once you sort of got through that, it slowly made doing things a little bit easier as we went on. I think the strengthening of the core has helped a significant amount. I know with all the research and that I was trying to do whilst I was sort of unable to move, a lot of it said about trying to strengthen your core and everything, in doing that I'd try and sit at home and try and go through a couple of sit-ups or anything, but any slight movement forward, it'd take me almost half an hour just to go through 10 crunches just because of the pain and everything like that. But that's where I started. I did that for probably a couple of months before I even stepped foot into the F45. I didn't want to go in there barely being able to walk, let alone go through a training session. So I kind of did a little bit at home and overcome a little bit of that to at least get me into the gym and start moving. Yeah, so I first started in March 2023, and I've always been a bit competitive, playing footy all my life, any sport during school, anything like that as well. And yeah, I heard that there was a local comp coming up, Frantic Day Out, and I was like, oh, what's this about? I'll try and have a go. And yeah, I seen the different categories, beginner, intermediate, RX, and I had no idea what RX even meant at the time, and I thought, I knew, I kind of had all the basic skills and movements and everything, so I've been competitive as well. I was like, I'm not going to do beginner, it sounds too easy, I'll skip that. And now I look back and I wish I didn't skip that because you can't go back to it now. So I jumped straight into intermediate. Only been doing it for 2 months. Turns out I didn't know half of anything really. And yeah, I ended up placing 30th out of 36, which I thought was a good benchmark to start off with. Turns out I had a lot to learn with CrossFit. It's one of the most humbling sports I've ever done. So. Yeah, so this gym, which was formerly known as Life's Peachy, Ben, the previous owner, he's done his sort of end project over in Byford with his Life's Peachy Fit gym. I didn't want to see the place close down or anything, I didn't want to lose sort of what we had here. Yeah, so now we're taking over. It's now top tier strength and conditioning. A few things sort of in place in mind that we've got, but a lot of it all happened quite quickly, so it'll take a few months just to sort of find our feet and get sort of comfortable with the uncomfortable, and then, yeah, hopefully start bringing some big changes. And yeah, as long as we can keep the community going, that was my main thing. So, like I was saying before, when I was at F45 before here, since, you go in there, you do your thing and you leave, that's it. Where once I came in here, it was almost just like a second family sort of thing. So you come in and everyone makes you feel welcome, and like I was saying as well, it's one of the most humbling things I've ever done. So it's you come in and you might think, oh, I'm fit and I can do this and run and that, and you you're just a little fish in a big pond once you step foot into a CrossFit gym for the first time. And yeah, just this place has changed me mentally, physically, since I've been here. And I just thought, if we can keep that going and even just do that for one other person sort of thing, then I know personally how it feels. So yeah, I figured, and everyone's loving and caring around here. It's very family orientated as well, so it's good. So in April, on the 14th, my wife gave birth to our beautiful little boy, Lucas. He's been in and around here a few times. He's also well loved by everybody. I don't even step foot through the door before a few of the mums are trying to grab him off us. So I know I can come in, and if I needed to come in and do a workout or anything, I know that he's looked after. Like, I could almost come in at any time of the day and I know that he'll be safe. So yeah, it's awesome. And that's another thing as well. Like, I'm hoping that with this change as well, and sort of backing off my roofing business, focusing more on this to try and make this place bigger and better. It'll also give me a bit more time with him in his younger days, watching him grow up and everything. So, and I mean, he's already a sucker for the loud music, so we are having him in here sometimes during the mum class, and yeah, I just have him laying on his tummy and just have the music blaring, and he just likes to just observe everyone and watch what's going on. And I always say I'll get him into it nice and young, not in his late 20s like I did, so give him a nice head start on it. So anything gymnastics related, or even just body weight agility sort of work as well, like burpees. I'm a sucker for burpees. I'm even doing a challenge at the moment that's doing 300 burpees every day for 30 days and then finishing off with 1,000 burpees on the 31st day. So that's eventful. I've set it up for a fundraiser as well towards a Act for Kids charity, just for kids that are suffering from abuse and neglect. And touching on that as well, like I said, since having a kid of my own, I realise how special it is, and there's kids out there that don't get the love and care they deserve. Yeah, I'm finding there's no way I could do 300 in one spot. I think it's just I'd lose count and I start getting distracted. So I started out doing 30 on every metre square that we've got in here for our 10-metre track, and I thought that's 300 at the end. And then even towards the end of that, you get bored doing 30 because it's taking you too long at the end. So I broke it down to just doing 3 laps of 10 on each one, and it gives you that little break in between as well while you sort of move over to the next metre. And I think that just helps mentally keep going. So you're not just in one spot feeling like it's just repeating the same thing. I think I used to sort of be in the same mindset when I used to train next door at the old F45. It can be daunting, especially if you're popping your head into a class full of people who know what they're doing, like I used to do, and you just see everything happen so fluently and aggressive looking, and it can be quite scary, especially for those that don't sort of like change, which is another thing. Once I get stuck in something, I don't like to change it too much, whether it's the atmosphere or anything. But I personally think if you're sort of looking into joining a gym, whether it be here or any other CrossFit, strength and conditioning gym, anything around Perth, just do it. Just go in, have your trial run, give it a go. What's the worst that happens? You say, oh, it's not for me, and you either go back to something else or whatever it was you're doing prior. Otherwise, what you're finding a lot of people is you have your trial run and you're on the blower, yep, sign me up. Like, this is awesome. And you might just keep returning because of the atmosphere and the members and just the vibe that you get every time you go there. Or you might return because you just like dying in a workout. Yeah, I think just do it. Just have a go, yeah.